Okay, great. So now you're on step 3, where we're going to eventually have to change both linear equations so that something cancels out. So take a look at our linear equation that we have. We have negative 7x minus 8y equals 9 and negative 4x plus 9y equals negative 28. If I were to add down right now, negative 7x and negative 4x, first of all, they're both negative, so they wouldn't cancel, and they're not the same number. If I take a look at negative 8y and positive 9y, one of them is negative, one of them is positive, but they're not the same number. So I'm going to have to multiply each number by something to get them to cancel. So what we're going to have to do is find the least common multiple in order to get them to cancel. So take a look, I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to put an arrow and do my work over off to the side. So the first thing you have to figure out is you have to decide what variable you want, what variable to cancel. There's no right or wrong, you just have to make sure they actually cancel. I'm going to decide I want my x's to cancel. So if I take a look, I have negative 7x and negative 4x. So if I multiply them by each other, by 4, by 7, then I would end up getting the same number, because 4 times 7 gives me 28, and 7 times 4 gives me 28. Except the only problem when I do that is one of them has to be turned to a positive number in order to cancel, because we'd need 28x and a negative 28x, and then they would cancel. So it doesn't matter if my negative 28x goes on top or on the bottom, because we always add so they cancel anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my first equation, I'm going to change that to a negative, so then my 7x, so then that would turn to a positive. So watch what I mean. So I'm going to change it to a negative 4x. So again, we got to distribute to each part. So negative 4x times negative 7x gives me positive 28x. Negative 4 times negative 8y gives me a positive 32y, and it's equal to negative 4 times 9, which gives me negative 36. So now for my second equation, I got to do the same thing, but I got to multiply by a positive 7. So 7 times negative 4x gives me negative 28x. 7 times 9y gives me positive 63y, and it's equal to 7 times negative 22, and if you plug it into your calculator, you get negative 154. So now I can go ahead and add down, and when I do, my 28x and negative 28x cancel. They're the same number, but they're opposite signs. So now I have to add 32 plus 63, and I get 95y equals, and I got to do negative 36 plus negative 154. I put that in my calculator, and I get negative 190. I get to divide each side by 95, and I'm left with y equals negative 190 divided by 95 gives me negative 2. So now I know that my y value is negative 2. I got to go ahead and plug it into either equation. I'm going to go with the top one. So it's negative 7x minus 8y equals 9. So I'm going to rewrite it as negative 7x minus 8 times negative 2 equals 9. Give myself some more room here. I'm going to bring down my negative 7x. Negative 8 times negative 2 gives me a positive 16, and it's equal to 9. In order to solve for x, before I divide by negative 7, I have to move the 16 over. So I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, my negative 16 and positive 16 cancel. I'm left with negative 7x equals, I have to do 9 minus 16, and it gives me negative 7. Divide each side by negative 7, and I get x equals 1. Make sure, go ahead and do your check. Make sure you plug your x value and your y value in for both equations, and it should work. Now go ahead, I'm going to give you your next and your final worksheet. It's going to be a lime green. Go ahead and take a look at that and make sure you use your notes in order to help you.